Right about now in the 5 series, we're talking about jazz fusion records that I love. And I'm not going to give too much of an intro. We're going to get straight into it. We're starting off with James Mason, Rhythm of Life. This is a Holy Grail record. This is not an OG that I'm holding. This is a reissue because the originals go for a ton of money. I saw one once. Maybe I should have bought it. Maybe I didn't. It was a lot of money, but that's a whole other story. Rhythm of Life. This record bangs from beginning to end. Sweet Power is the big tune. I shouldn't even say Sweet Power is the big tune. It's probably the most well-known tune, and it's my favourite tune off of this album. But don't take away from the rest of this track, the rest of this album. This album bangs from beginning to end. The title track, Rhythm of Life, is another huge tune. This tune was like, when I first started clubbing back in London days, this was like a mythical record. And it still is a mythical record, even though they reissued it. Shout out to them. I'm holding a reissue in my hand right now. You should check it out. If not on vinyl, just go to the DSPs and look it up. Amazing. Idris Muhammad, Power of Soul. Idris he's a big artist to me. I love Idris Muhammad records. This is a great jazz fusion record. He has 3 records that have the similar kind of cover, right? Turn This Mother, which has the red cover. He's got another one called Boogie to the Top, I think it's called, and they all have this kind of cover, and some are more kind of jazz funky, but this is like jazz fusion at the highest level. Laurent's Dance is or maybe it's called Laurent, I don't know. Laurent's Dance is like an impeccable track, but the whole album is just a great album. And Idris Muhammad is a great artist, and this is jazz fusion at its finest. Let's go. We don't stop because we can't stop. Hey. Weather Report. I've got a complicated relationship with this band. Some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff gets a little bit like doodly and self-involved to me, but I think this is their debut album. It's the first album of theirs I bought, and this album is just, I just love this record, man. This record is just, I think because I bought this record first by them, and this is their debut album, this is what I want from them. And I've got like a few of their other albums, but this is my favourite album of theirs because there's no compromise for me. I just love the whole album, whereas some of their other stuff can be a bit. Anyway, Weather Report, Sweet Nighter. I love this record. Jazz fusion at its finest, impeccable. Have to get into this. Weather Report, big guys on the scene. Lonnie Liston Smith. I mentioned him before in my jazz funk episode because I was talking about the Expansions record. To me, he's really kind of fusion, but I was so chomping at the bit to talk about that Expansions song and that Expansions album. I just threw him into jazz funk, but he may lean more towards fusion. And this is another great Lonnie Liston Smith album that I love. I don't know what else to really say beyond that, but he's a cornerstone of the jazz fusion movement, also the spiritual jazz movement too, but he's a cornerstone of the jazz fusion movement. And this is another great Lonnie Liston Smith album, and it's called Reflections of a Golden Dream, and that's what it will give you. It will give you a reflection of a golden dream, I'm telling you that much. Herbie Hancock, the man, the myth, the legends. No, not just man, myth, legend. I'm going to say it. Legend of the legends, Herbie Hancock. During the 70s, he stomped through the 70s, putting out these jazz fusion, jazz funk classics with the Headhunters. This is the last album he made with the classic Headhunters lineup. It's called Manchild, and it's just another one amongst the many Herbie Hancock classic recordings that he's put out. But this is one that I'm just going to recommend because I was listening to it this morning. So, yeah. These albums are essential jazz fusion albums to me. Good Fine Records is the label. Hi-Fi Recluse is the group. Delicious vinyl of Hi-Fi Recluse is on Spotify.
Delicious Music.
Delicious Music by Hi-Fi Recluse, thank you, is on Spotify. Check it out and you'll get a lot of these gems. But anyway, check a 1 2, Jazz Fusion.